Fall Creek is a waterway spanning 57.5 miles from Pendleton to the White River in downtown Indianapolis. In the early 1800s, when settlers first began developing Indianapolis, Fall Creek was seen as a beautiful stream with a rapid current and deep water. However, with increased migration came more residents, transforming Fall Creek from a natural landscape to an industrialized settlement. For over a century, Fall Creek has become a dumping ground for direct and indirect runoff pollution. According to IDEM, there are current water contaminants found below 38th Street within Marion County, such as E. coli, mercury, and PCBs. These are all sourced from industry or governmental establishments and are detrimental to our health. Mercury is a naturally occurring chemical element found in deposits of coal. From 1927 to 2016, coal is being used as a main energy source for Indianapolis Power and Light. Deposits of mercury from coal ash would fall as dry dust or in precipitation and be washed into streams where it sticks in sediments and remains for an extended period of time. Exposure to mercury occurs from breathing contaminated air and ingesting contaminated water and food. Exposure to high levels of mercury can permanently damage the brain, kidneys, and a developing fetus. Polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, are man-made organic chemicals that were used in hundreds of industrial and commercial applications that were banned in 1979. PCBs in Fall Creek are from non-point sources of pollution stemming from decades of ground spillage of electrical equipment and contaminated lubricating oils that washed off the land and roads, making their way into streams and sticking into sediments. PCBs don't readily break down once in the environment. They remain for long periods, cycling between air, water, and soil. Individuals exposed to these chemicals are susceptible to pneumonia and viral infections, reducing birth and conception rates. PCBs showed persistent deficits in neurological development, including visual recognition, short-term memory, and learning. E. coli is a bacteria found in your intestines. Combining both stormwater and drainwater sewage, the 125-year-old combined sewer overflow system downtown is the biggest contributor to E. coli found in Fall Creek. Fall Creek has 22 CSO outlets overflowing about 60 times per year, dumping hundreds of millions of gallons of raw sewage into our waterways. Most who are exposed to E. coli experience watery or bloody diarrhea, abdominal cramps, nausea, vomiting, and fever. Young children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems may acquire an E. coli infection and may develop kidney failure and sometimes death. Although there were warning signs of these contaminants being located in Fall Creek, many people continued to utilize this natural waterway for recreational swimming and fishing. Due to the challenges of segregation, racially based poverty, and the lack of neighborhood investments, the majority of the population utilizing this contaminated waterway were African American. Although the pollution of Fall Creek has decreased, many of these pollutants will continue to stay in the water for many years to come, which begs the question, is growing industry and economic development worth the consequences of eliminating Earth's preservation for all species alike?